The real challenge for the Southwest Agenda and my presentation and my keynote speech is to ask us, how do we move from tokenism, which is masquerading as governance, to building agile governance? The question is not whether we can lead. It is not whether we were forced at any given point in time. It is whether we are ready to be forced for a new, different kind of economy and environment. I think the more important thing we should understand is that today, Nigeria has navigated a period of intense risk from May 2023 to date. There were some hits and there were some unintended errors as well. But as we close to the year end 2025, I can tell you that Nigeria has moved out of what you call a risk watch zone, which analysts pay attention to what you call a recovery watch. And it is not so much important for you to just think of from crisis to solution or from sickness to health. It is important for you to see that there are quite a few indicators. The most powerful one occurred recently when Nigeria was removed from the list of countries under increased financial monitoring, commonly referred to as the gray list. I don't think we really understand how we have moved from despondency to definite expectation. For the first time in the history of Nigeria, we will recover from an economic crisis without a global fiscal respite. And that this recovery of ours is not premised on luck, but predicated on policy. It is not by default, but by design. So what is that design? How do you understand the design? It is important, therefore, to see that this design, we keep on talking about the federal government, but this design also borders on the states, and I think that is more important. Let me challenge it this way. There are two economies we are talking about simultaneously. There is a statistical economy, which people like myself and some of the technocrats in government will talk about, but there's also the street economics as well. There is, however, what you call a transmission or translation gap between statistical economies and the street economies. So when you find out that people are saying that the common denominator in the economy, which is the household, is complaining, that complaint is not a lie. It is true. The real gaps that we see is what you call the translation gap between when new reforms come in, and it has changed the way people conduct themselves. How do you intend for us to bridge this gap? I think the president, and I'm sure when the honorable minister is talking, he would address this. The honorable minister would have to address how to bridge the gap between the macroeconomics and the microeconomics. And what does that mean? Between the figures we see for the nation and what we see. But I am hopeful. I am very hopeful about that. Why am I hopeful? I am hopeful because the same decision in which we took over the PMS and the exchange rate subsidy is the same approach we expect to see here. But there are some few problems. For all those statistics that the governors have read, for all those statistics that the honorable ministers have read, there are two problems. The two are simply fiscal and foreign investment reforms. The hallmark of the Tinubu macroeconomic management is a two-sided coin. On one side, President Tinubu achieved foreign reserve adequacy, net reserve, a remarkable one. By contrast, however, the administration lacks adequate revenue, leaving it reliant on borrowed funds to finance government with the attendant interest burden. This lack of revenue adequacy will undermine those cost-reflective reforms we are all touting right now. We must therefore have to face a decision. Some may call it federalism, but we would have to reimagine the revenue model of the federal government and also the state governments as well. We do have a revenue side problem. The fiscal conundrum I've described is the flip side of the revenue crisis. It is worth noting that the old model built around procurements, that means government likes to give out contracts and using borrowed funds, is unsustainable. Let me make bold to say that data has shown categorically that you cannot fund capital expenditure from your revenue side. That model has to change entirely. In order to see the development we seek, we must begin to look at the revenue side from how we approach it from an investment model, whereby we go to the market. But this is not just at the federal level, because at the federal level, we have something called the MUFI. And I'm hopeful that when the CME also comes back here, he will be able to talk about that. But at the level of the state governments, there are real issues. Let's not kid ourselves. It's easy to just say Tinubu has done it. The real measurement is to say, what has the Southwest governors done to move the needle forward itself? Because the real conversation on fiscal is about the Southwest governor. Now, here is the thing. When they were reading and said that, oh, we did this first. We were the first to do television. We are the first. How many years ago? We are talking about being forced 30 years ago. In fact, most of everybody here were beneficiaries of those schools that were created 30 or 40 years ago. At least I was part of those who benefited from about Olufemi or Obanjo. Most of the people here were the beneficiaries of what came out from you. But we haven't had any innovative governance since then. What we have done and we have settled for is tokenism. To go and open road, open toilets, we'll do this one, pass this road. No. The real decision is that if we are going to have to make any changes, the Southwest governors must learn to cooperate, compete, and collaborate. Whichever way you want to do it one way. But the whole idea, the Southwest region, we have never been scared. Whether there is money or there is no money, it has never been an issue. But we spend more time rather on politics, more on politics than on policy. What made us great was that we were strong on policy. We were strong on hard work. And that is the more important thing. We must therefore learn how to reimagine the government. We do not have enough money to go around everybody if we are to share it. But we are not even building a bigger cake. We are thinking small. There is no way we should be able to think small as the Southwest. Whether you like it or not, you see the next generation coming, they already have our numbers. Changes will occur, whether we allow it or not. But we have a responsibility to set the bar, just as they did for us as well. Now, the governor of Lagos State may show you certain things they are doing in terms of waterways and what. I mean, those are innovative, but there needs to be more. When we say more, is that you should start thinking, not comparing the Southwest region with Southeast region, South-South. The economy, the GDP of the Southwest region is as big as Ghana's, bigger than those of Angola, bigger than those of Rwanda. We should not stop going small. The Southwest has never been about trying to think small. And so when we start to think that way, we will then understand. And for us to do that, something has happened. Very important thing. It is called the Southwest Development Commission. When the president gave us that, that was all we needed from him. Because all the problems we had has been resolved inside that document called the Southwest Development Commission. I enjoy you all to go and read the mandate inside that Southwest Development Commission. He said, we should build an economy in the Southwest that will compete globally. He was already even thinking far ahead. He didn't say compete here. But what he has also done is that he has made sure that when we sit down to discuss, there is no vehicle for harmony. Papa, bless you, sir. When you say there should be unity, we must therefore learn how to create the vehicle for the unity. There is no vehicle for the unity now. So when we get to the Southwest Development Commission, the things they may be telling us to do is to turn that Southwest Development Commission into a constituency project awarding thing. No way. No way. That was not what was intended. That was not what it. If they are doing it in other regions, woe betide those who will do it in the Southwest. That is not what it was. The purpose of that Southwest Development Commission is to come up with our own development agenda and development plan, working with donors, technical partners, and using the vehicle of the Odua Investment Group, which we had created so many years ago to start showcasing how to do things. In actual fact, this so-called federalism must start with a single conversation around regionalism. And the Southwest, this is the only point at which we must lead. So for those who came here to enjoy the show, enjoy yourself. But for those who came here to want to understand that the argument will change, whether we like it or not, And the argument has changed. So the most significant thing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu gave the Southwest is he gave us the vehicle for the change that we need. That vehicle for the change that we need is what must now begin to happen. So rather than point fingers and say the center, it is here. It may shock you to know that if you look at what we call the decagon of power, that means in all the critical factors in this country, there is a Southwesterner holding that office. From Gwaliadu in finance, to Adelabu in power, to also in customs, Zach. Every single layer is there. We used to complain that we could not move because we had problems in center. What is the excuse today? What would be the excuse today? So this forum, most importantly, this forum must resolve a few things. So the Southwest Development Commission must begin to address a few things. One, we must address the big ticket issues. What is the regional rail network within the Southwest that will move goods and services? Those are issues we should discuss and resolve so that by the time we want to get it ready, it will be there. But the money will not come from the state government this time. You're going to have to bring it to the market. And that's how it will happen. The second, we should be talking about integrated power grid renewable energy hubs. Every day, whereas all the resources is available here. If we want the country to better, let's start it here. Every one of us, we can do it. And we have multiple means of doing it. Renewable. The Southwest Agro-Industrial Corridor. In natural fact, all these things I'm reading are not some brilliant ideas. The Dawn Commission had put together a document. In that document, they had identified 7 major projects. I believe that the Southwest Development Commission is already looking at 3. The beauty of it all is that it's almost taken over from the Saudi Arabia model where they did with the Aramco. What they do is to take this project and put it out in the market space. Let us put a value to it. Let us bring people. The greedy, the good, the bad, every one of us. No more. It is a model that can carry every one of us along, whichever divide we stand in. But most importantly about that model is that we are talking about figures of about 6.6 trillion. The last thing I would like to say for my elders is rather than us being a participant, the government is putting together the medium-term national development plan. Where is the Southwest document? We should not even be putting together a contribution. We should be the architects of shaping that outcome. So that means the regional plan is already adopted within the national plan. Without that alignment, that synergy, it will not be thus. So let me close in this way. The only message I can pick from listening to the royal fathers, our governors, is that if they ratify let us try as much as possible to confront those difficult issues. For example, Lagos Ogun have been trying their best to resolve the boundary dispute. But it shouldn't just be about the best, because we are going to have to work together closely to solve it. And I'm sure they've created a border commission. It shouldn't be an issue, big deal. Lagos Ogun, we have issues. We see what happens with other areas as well. So today, the border issues, what do you call it, residence issue, what do you call it, where do you live, where do you pay tax? The issues in the Fair Southwest should be discussed from a federating position. On that last note, I thank you for your patience and I apologize if we said anything. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.